Hi, I'm Dino Cazares, and I play guitar in Fear Factory, Divine Heresy, and Assassino. Today we're going to talk about the history of how I got into the Ibanez 7-string, and we're also going to talk about my new signature series, DCM100 limited edition model. When I first started out playing guitar, I was playing 6-string guitars, and I was like really into the low tunings. And so I would tune my 6-string down to like B and A, but obviously the strings got really floppy, and then you try bigger strings and then it changes the tone and so on and so on. When I made my first 2 records, I was using 6-string guitar and they were tuned to B. And they sounded really good, but I heard of Steve Vai, and I've heard of his Ibanez 7-string guitar that he made back in the 90s. And I was like, man, I would always love to try that guitar. And back in 1995, Ibanez had approached me, gave me one of the first Vai 7-strings, and I instantly fell in love with it. I knew exactly what I wanted to do with this guitar. I knew exactly how to play it. I felt very, very comfortable. When I first got the guitar, I noticed there were some things on it that I would have liked to change. One was reverse headstock. Since the early 80s, some of the old school bands had reverse headstocks, and I wanted it to bring it back for my guitar. And obviously Ibanez make really great thin necks. My left hand's moving pretty fast. I've always liked it when it was thinner for me, and it felt very comfortable. It's also a rosewood fretboard with jumbo frets on it. I played the 25.5 scale neck for quite a long time. But then when they came out with the RGD and it had the 26.5 scale neck, I fell in love with it right away. Being in a band and touring as much as we do, you find out what guitars work best in extreme conditions. And these necks really got to hold up. It's got a 3-piece maple babinga. The babinga is a pretty much really strong wood, and it makes these necks really solid. Also, the titanium truss rod that's inside the neck as well is something that's a benefit, and it really helps the neck stay really sturdy. I really love the bolt-on construction. I know a lot of people like neck-throughs and bolt-on, and there's always a debate, what's better, bolt-on, neck-through, bolt-on, neck-through, and you guys can debate about it for years. So back in the mid-90s, when I first got into the 7-string guitar, I was really always a big fan of the active pickups. So years later, I helped Seymour Duncan design a pickup called the Blackout. That was back in 1996. Fast forward, back in 2013, I've been working on a pickup with Seymour Duncan called the Retribution, which will be available in the guitar. And the pickup will be available later this year as well. When I was designing the pickup, I tried it out with all different woods, and I always felt mahogany was best for me. It's got this really good high-end attack I like, and it's got a good tone, and it's really got a lot of good sustain on it. You can hear every pick attack. That's pretty much my style. I pick pretty fast. And I needed something that was just going to be just full-on attack. I really like the RGD cutaway because it's very comfortable for me. Every day, night after night when you're playing, I'm resting my hand right here, and just the cutaway is really smooth on my arm. The low pro edge bridge, I've really been a big fan of this since back in the early 90s when I saw the first Vai guitars. I was a really big fan of this, so I wanted to bring it for my guitar. I always liked one volume knob. I never really liked the toggle switch. I never really, liked the volume control, because I pretty much was able to get my tone, my highs and lows out of my amp. I always liked my guitar to be a little bit simple. Sometimes less is more. This DCM100 is pretty much exactly what I play live. And this is an exclusive model, limited edition, DCM100 Dino signature guitar. And on the back of each guitar that you get, you'll have my own signature, just in case you don't want it there, you can always switch it out. Overall, it's an amazing guitar, and you're gonna love it. And just very glad that it's finally out.